What it's all about. Hey everyone, and welcome to Chef AJ Live. I'm your host, Chef AJ, and this is where I introduce you to amazing people like you who are doing great things in the world that I think you should know about. And pandemic notwithstanding, I think one of the greatest things people can do is make people laugh. So today's show is all about stand-up comedy, how you can turn your life into a stand-up comedy act. And no, you don't have to be funny, because I got a guy that can make anybody funny. You know, if you know me from the plant-based world or as a chef, you probably don't know that my first love is animals, but my second love was comedy. That's what I wanted to be when I grew up. I wanted to be a comedian, or specifically an improvisational comedic actor. But in my family, the only choice you had is which medical school to go to. And that just didn't work for me. So I did other things, and I had some success early on. I was on the Tonight Show, actually, I think up to 5 times. I was on with 3 or 4 different hosts. I was on with Joey Bishop. I was on with Johnny Carson himself, including the anniversary show. I was on with Jay Leno, on David Letterman. So I had a little bit of success, but when I got into my 40s, I realized I liked living indoors and I needed to get a real job. And so that's when I went to culinary school. That was over 20 years ago. And then I became Chef AJ. But my love for comedy never died. And the one good thing about the pandemic is that all the wonderful teachers that I studied with in Los Angeles, doing comedy with and improv with, because I had left LA 3 years ago and I wouldn't be able to go to their classes. They all started teaching online. So actually, I've been doing more improv and comedy, performing it and studying it, than I ever did when I was living in LA. And this is one of my favorite teachers. He's been my stand-up comedy teacher for about 10 years. I haven't gone consistently for 10 years. Otherwise, I'd be really good. But I've been going consistently since the pandemic. My husband, Charles, is in the class. We're going to bring him on, and a bunch of my friends from the plant-based world who have no experience whatsoever in comedy did the show, and they are absolutely hilarious. But let's bring him on, none other than Cary Odes.
Thank you, AJ. It's always a delight to be here with you. I mean, I'm a huge fan of yours, and I remember when I met you in 2005. You took the class, and I came to see you do your teaching, your Chef AJ show, and it was one of the funniest, best things I've ever seen, and great recipes that I still remember to this day. A chocolate shake made with spinach. Unbelievable. So you have a real gift. I think one of the greatest things that I've gotten out of working with you, AJ, is meeting all your vegan friends and giving them something to make them more powerful, because they're already healthy. They already know how to eat a plant-based life, but dealing with normal people, dealing with the big world can get to be a problem. Everyone's like, it's like us versus them kind of thing. And I've been delighted with how funny your students are, and also how we've been able to turn them into better advocates for what they believe in by being funnier, because nothing's more convincing than somebody who is funny about their life rather than somebody who's serious. You must eat plants or you will die. I mean, I'm gonna go have a hamburger and die. But if you give them something that's fun and have them laughing, they go, that's kind of cool. I like that person. I might try that thing. So I'm trying to make you guys into an army of funny plant-based people. I had a couple thoughts. One is how do you be funny? Isn't that a question everyone's wondering about?
Yeah, how do you be funny? Because a lot of people say, "Oh, I'm not funny." Or like today on the show, I had a guest, and she said, "Well, I can write funny, but I can't be funny."
Right. Yeah, and that is because there's a stopper that goes in us when we're trying to be funny. But when we're accidentally funny, we can do it. When there's friends around, don't you find, I'm going to ask this group here, when your friends are around, aren't you funny?
Yes.
Right.
Or I am.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You say you are, just to make you happy. Or even if you're alone with your cat. You're usually funny because you're allowed to be silly. You're allowed to be goofy. You're not worried about making a fool of yourself. And what we do in the class is we change the rules to nothing you do is bad. You won't make a fool of yourself. But you need to let it all out, or else nothing comes out. You know what I mean? It's like a bottle. You need to open the bottle out and let everything out. You can't just say, I just want that part to come out. You need to let everything come out, and then funny comes along with it. So how many people are afraid of trying to be funny? Is anyone afraid?
I am.
Yes. It brings up, what if it doesn't go well? What if I say something stupid? Well, you might, but I'm gonna teach you in the class that no matter what you say, there's a way to recover, and it's better to try something. AJ,
Hey, tell that to Michael Richards. Ba-dum-bum.
boom! Don't let him record. Don't let him record. We were just talking about that. Some old school guys were talking about Michael just the other day. Like,
it's just so not fair, though. I mean, I'm not condoning anybody's behavior, but when I'm saying this whole cancel culture, it's just not fair because some of the most heinous people in history, and I'm not going to mention names, aren't being canceled. But it drives me crazy that people cannot make a mistake anymore in public.
Right, and we do live in an online world. I think it's nicer to do shows, in a in person when no one's recording. You don't have to worry about that. And what we do on the showcase, this is in front of this is only for us. This doesn't go out into the world and then everyone records it. And you can in our showcases or our classes, they're private, so you can try something goofy and see if it works. It's not like it's going to go out. These are locked up files. They don't go out unless, of course, I'm paid lots of money.
Well, what's nice is guys, if you're interested at all, just do it. They say that you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. And when you die, you don't regret things you did and failed at. You regret the things that you wanted to try. And now for the third time ever, Cary is allowing you to take the class so you can learn and have the camaraderie and fun and learn the structure, but not actually have to perform. So, like how those scary rides at the amusement parks, you get close to the roller coaster and they have something called the chicken exit. They let you leave. You can do that now in the class. You don't have to perform.
Right. And most people, once they get there, they go, this is too much fun. I'm going to go all the way through. But being safe that you don't have to makes it easier to get up to that line. And, I agree so much with what you said, AJ, about, you miss it 100% if you don't do it. That's how I am with everything. I get nervous before a show like this little event we're having. It makes me a little nervous, but instead of trying to be perfect, let's see what comes out. Let's give it a try. And that always is the best option. I'm so glad that I've taken chances. And I see smiling faces that I've known before. I have ideas for you today. All right. I wanted to play with you guys. Okay. And okay. So in the past, we played some games, and just to complete a sentence, what is the answer to this one? Living with a vegan is like. How would you answer that? And you're imagining, because I know you're the vegan, but imagine what it's like to live with you. All right. Living with a vegan.
It's like being married, because somebody's always telling you what to do.
Gotcha. Great. Someone's always telling you what to do. What else? Don't be afraid of saying something stupid. Anything that comes to your mind. What is it like?
Like you're living with a know-it-all.
It's like living with a know-it-all. Perfect. Great. What else?
It's like being a dog because you only get to eat what is put in front of you.
Great. What else? Keep going. Living with a vegan is like.
It's like living with a doctor. I mean, they're always, like preaching your health. They're always telling you what you're doing is not good.
I know. I read an article that said like eating. Oh, it was like eating something was like shortening your life by 30 minutes. Like eating a turkey, a cold cut sandwich will shorten your life by 30 minutes. But eating a vegan meal lengthens your life by 20 minutes. So yeah. Living with a
knowing the vegan's going to outlive you.
Yes. Or knowing you're going to die first. What else? Anything else?
Well, they like living with somebody that always says, "I told you so."
It's like living with "I told you so." Great. Cool.
Or self-righteous.
Good. So that's good stuff. And the rule and the key to that working is, you guys are making fun of yourselves, and that's always more enjoyable than you making fun of other people. You know what I mean? If you start making fun, the problem with meat eaters, if you do that, the meat eaters are going to go like, "Well, screw you. I like me." But if you talk about the trouble with vegans, they go, "Oh, they got a good sense of humor about themselves." All right. And they start wondering about, wait, they're going to live longer? Huh. You get your point across, but you're not being pushy about it, right? Here's another thing to complete. How do you complete the sentence? The hardest thing about being a vegan is? What's that?
Every time you have a complaint or an ache or a pain, then you're told, oh, well, it must be something you ate.
Yeah, like if you fart, oh, it's because you're vegan. That's right.
fault.
Every time, if like God forbid you get hit by a truck, oh, it's because you're vegan.
Yeah. Wow. Why did the truck kill them? Well, if they'd only had a hamburger, they would have been fine. Okay, great. What else? What else is the hardest thing about being vegan?
Eating with a non-vegan family.
Eating with a non-vegan family, right? Perfect. What else?
People always ask you the same stupid question, even though you've been vegan for almost 50 years. Where do you get your protein?
Yep.
I mean, it's like you would have been dead 50 years ago if it didn't work, right?
The hard thing about being vegan is people mispronounce it and they call it vegan or vegan.
Vegan, right? Mel, do you ever meet any vegans who do pronounce it vegan? Because I didn't know. I thought it was a vegan restaurant. The people are vegans. I didn't know. Okay, great. So that's something to get the ball rolling on that.
Also, people don't even know what it means. So like one of the things that's hard about being vegan is people say, oh, I'm vegetarian too. I just eat chicken and fish occasionally.
Exactly. Well, then, this is the question for you, just as a way for comedy. Comedy is exploration. All right. We're like detectives. We need to know what's going on so we can make fun of it. So do you want anyone on your team? Let's say if someone is vegan 5 days a week or 6 days a week, and they meet 1 day a week, do you hate them or do you welcome them as a partial member of the group? Oh.
Well, we know what Linda would say, but I don't. Well, we're not supposed to hate anybody because as vegans, we're very lovely. We're very loving people. So that would not be right.
Even the animal murderers.
Yeah, but even if we accept them, we silently judge them.
Well, yes.
Yeah.
They don't tell them what we're really thinking.
Isn't that
I was going to say, we bite our tongue. Some of us have very swollen tongues because we bite our tongue all the time.
That's the only meat you eat is biting your tongue while you judge.
I mean, like if you had a friend that only beat his wife 1 day a week, would you say, well, that's so nice of you not to beat her the other 6?
Right. Still, they're eating like 85% less animal products, right?
Okay, so we'll hate them a little bit less.
There you go. But that does, I mean, if you were, I understand it. I understand your point of view, but it would be like, boy, they're almost on your team. These are the people you have the best chance of bringing over the last little bit. But no, we hate you anyway.
Well, we're an unusual bunch.
Well, there's an old Jewish joke, and I think it's actually been done by almost every religion. But the way I heard it is a Jewish guy is shipwrecked on an island, and 20 years go by, and finally there's a rescue, and they find him on the island. He's been living there for 20 years. He's built a whole house for himself, and all. Before he leaves, he shows them this is where the gardens are. This is where the little fish pond is. This is where I have my house. And he goes, what are the 2 buildings on the top of the hill there? He goes, oh, the one on the right is a synagogue I go to. He goes, well, what's the other building then? That's the one I wouldn't go to. That's a synagogue I wouldn't go to if you paid me. Even alone, you need someone to hate.
That's funny.
So I wanted to play with you, knowing that you bring in not only vegans, but people who are willing to laugh. I have an entirely different feeling. I just wanted, by way of just showing the power of comedy, knowing these people in our little gathering today, and knowing that they've been able to make jokes about themselves and about being vegan has changed my view of vegans and of you guys specifically tremendously. It gives me much more
What
respect.
did you think before?
Yeah.
Oh, you were a little scary, you know. It's similar to jokes about how many so and so's does it take to screw in a light bulb. I remember that vegan one, and that's not funny. It's just you feel like you're going to get.
No, it actually takes two: one to screw in the light bulb, and one to angrily read the box to make sure that all the ingredients are vegan.
Right. No, that no animals were harmed.
Yeah.
They were not tested on animals. So one of the things I want to play with is comics play what if a lot. In other words, yeah, we all know this, but what if that? It's another way of looking. We can't look at things the way everyone else looks at them as comedians, or else it's like we all know that. Yes, well, we do too. Fine. Where's the game in that? We want to play with people, and we want to play with their minds. So if everyone was a vegan, what would life be like if everyone was a vegan? If you
Heavenly.
Perfect.
Perfect. Let's think that through, shall we? Let's look at all of the aspects of being a vegan, including what we just talked about.
We would be competing for limited supplies of vegetables.
Right. I mean, there'd be like people who have to lock up their broccoli until we have enough supply, right?
We'd have to beat up the deer for those last few blades of grass.
Right. No, I'm eating that. No, I'm eating that. So the deer wouldn't be happy. No one's hunting me, but I have nothing to eat. What else though? What were we just doing now? We were judging others, right? What would you do with all that free time if everyone was a vegan?
Oh, Cheryl in the chat is saying there'd be no one to hate.
There'd be no one to hate. What would you even talk about?
Cheryl, take the class. That was fantastic.
Right? You go, well, a plant-based diet is healthier. Like, I know, we're all vegan.
Well, you know what, though? The vegans fight amongst themselves, because you know how, like in Judaism, you got the Hasidic Jews and then the Orthodox and the conservative and the Reform, and each level is like holier than thou. Well, you got the same thing with vegans, because you got just the regular vegans who are junk food vegans. And then you got the whole food plant-based vegans that maybe don't eat any oil. And then you've got the SOS-free whole food plant-based vegans. And then you got the raw vegans. And then you got the fruitarians. And so everyone looks down their nose at the one below them.
Right. So you cook your carrots. How cruel. I see. Right. I only nibble on the piece of the carrot and I leave it in the ground so it still grows.
Oh, dear.
I made that one up, but I think that would be interesting.
Well, see, I think everyone should go vegan just to shut Linda Middlesworth up. That would be worth it.
Yeah, I
What would
can't
Linda do?
Yeah, Linda.
I mean,
I found out recently that I'm also some of my clients aren't coming back to me, and I said, why not? Because you'll yell at me. They're afraid of me to yell at them. Oh, God.
Like you go to somebody, hey, did you become vegan because you love animals? No, because I hate Linda.
It's true. I think I'm turning off more people than turning them on.
That's funny.
So what do you think about, I mean, would you have a job? AJ, everyone would already know all the recipes. It'd be like trying to have a channel about how to make popcorn. Like, we all know that.
Well, there would be some overweight vegans I could help if they wanted to trim down.
But I've seen you eat tons of food that's all vegan and you never gain weight. So
well, because of how I eat now. But remember, I used to be a fat vegan, and I always thought that once I was, once I got thin, I wouldn't be funny anymore.
Well, that's a whole nother thing. I want you to talk about that next time in your show. But if you're a plant-based vegan and you're not eating junk food, is it possible to still be overweight?
I think it's possible to be overweight, but it's impossible to be obese. A person would have to really be eating a lot of peanut butter and avocado toast and things like that. But if you're eating to the, like I call the left of the red line, whole foods without sugar, oil, salt, bread and alcohol, it's pretty rare to be overweight eating the way that those of us that eat this way recommend. I mean, look at him. He's
AJ, I can go overweight eating a handful of pumpkin seeds.
Right. That's what I'm saying. The high fat plant foods. But if you're just eating fruits, vegetables, whole grains and legumes without sugar, oil, salt, yeah. And what would all the vegan doctors do? Cheryl was saying junk food vegans would still need cardiologists, but think about it. If everybody went vegan, we almost wouldn't need cardiologists though. So wipe out half of the medical profession. Actually,
there'd be a lot of guys on the street, just like Anyone got heart disease? Anyone? I'll do
We'd
a
all be
bypass surgery. $30. I'll do bypass surgery. I'll do it right here.
We'd all be looking for a new cause.
Where do we put all the cows?
Well, I don't think we wouldn't have as many cows.
Yeah, but
It's so funny. Somebody that didn't know I was vegan.
I
Somebody
really
that-
want to know where we would put the cows.
well, we'd have to use some kind of birth control. I mean, that would be a problem we'd have to solve, but it would be a good problem. We would have to, start spaying and neutering all the cows.
People
Well-
tell me that that's not kind and that's not very vegan because they should have the right to procreate. Somebody actually argued that with me. They should have that wonderful feeling like we do.
Yeah.
I want a cow. I want a cow and a pig and chickens and turkeys.
Well,
Would you let them procreate?
well,
Yeah.
do you live on a farm, or are you going to turn your house into a farm?
Turn the house into a farm.
Well, good. I think you thought that out very well. Then I think certainly very fertile cows would soon. I believe there are more cows than just about any other animal. In other words, they're the biggest population of animals because we raise them to eat. Now, if we stop slaughtering them and didn't, we would have very few cows if it was just wild, right? But how do we transition without having them take over the world? Is that it?
I just want to know should they have the right to procreate
Well,
like everybody else?
Yeah, but right now right now we impregnate them,
No, if
by
we were all
ourselves. They're
vegan,
not.
if we were
The
all-
idiots that say this don't understand that they're not procreating now. They put the female cow on a rape rack, and that's how she gets pregnant.
I know, but I'm saying if we're all vegan, he said.
Well,
What happens then with the cows? Are they allowed to procreate?
I think you got to really consider a comedy solution. Okay, we have two comedy solutions I came up with. One is just before everyone goes vegan, there's one last barbecue. All right. Like,
Oh,
No.
we'll cook them all at the same time, is what you're saying?
we'll bring them down to a reasonable amount where they can then procreate and run free. And then, but the rest just barbecue. And everyone goes, okay, you're gonna be vegan tomorrow, but we're gonna have one less come over to my barbecue. Or
Go ahead.
or Elon Musk send them to Mars and let them run.
Yeah.
That's my two choices. I don't have more, but I'm under stress, so I don't have. So if these are good questions though, what if we're all vegan? Here's another thing. I just read another article just yesterday on how veganism has you live longer, keeps healthier. Well, what if everyone is a vegan? What might happen?
The world would be we wouldn't be able to sustain it because everybody'd be living to 140 and 150.
Exactly. What happens? Nobody's going to die. No one's going to give up their job. Young people wouldn't have any place to work.
Well, what we could do is then if people commit crimes, then those in prison, they have to eat meat.
Oh.
Ooh, good one.
No, because we're killing the animals. No, that won't work.
Well, we're going to have lab meat soon, Cary. They're going to make meat now that's grown in a lab.
Yeah. That's true. Now, what do you do with that?
Oh, I don't know. I just think
Yeah.
it's better. It's more humane than animals, but it's bizarre to me.
It has problems too.
Still not healthy.
It ruins the self-righteousness part of veganism.
So my
Takes
friend
the
Liz
fun out of it.
Carrie, my friend Liz, who I really want to take the class, is watching because I think she's hilarious. And she says it's stressful trying to be funny.
Well, yeah, trying to be funny is stressful. It is, right? But I don't want you to do that. You know what I mean? I don't want you to sit at a blank page and try to come up with something or try and figure something out in the moment. I just want you to notice when you're already being funny. If you have a weird idea and go, wait, what would happen if blah, blah, blah? Or if you say something that makes your friend laugh, I want you to start noticing it and writing it down or dictating into your phone. It's not about trying to be funny. It's terribly hard. All right. So
Yeah.
I agree with her.
Liz, one of the things Cary does in class, and he can't, well, I mean, I guess he could do it here if he didn't know one of us, is he has you rant about everything that's wrong in your life. And generally that's where the humor is, because all comedy is tragedy plus time. And so what Cary does is, especially on the first night, he just has you talk about yourself and he finds the funny for you. He takes notes and then you just have to carve it into an act, which he helps you do because he has a formula on how to do jokes. And that's the thing, because jokes are not stories. And so, you know, if to make a long story short, that's not comedy. Comedy is it's quicker than that, and he helps you figure out how to do that.
Yeah, and I don't want to intimidate people into thinking, oh my God, there's a formula and I have to learn stuff. It's more like, give us the raw material, and the raw material, as AJ just perfectly said, is problems. If I asked you to be funny, everyone would get scared and shut up. But I said, anyone having a problem? Like, everyone has a problem. And in that problem, and in your ranting about the problem, is comedy every time. It never fails. That is, if you have a problem, comedy is waiting right next to it. Okay, so don't worry, everyone. I don't know what to worry about. I don't know what to say. By the way, if Liz wants to come on in a minute, even audio wise.
Hey, Liz, I can give you the Zoom link if you want to come on, and you can work with Cary to see if the class is right for you. I know her personally; she's a friend, so I'll text her.
Let me tell a story before we try to bring her on. I was teaching a class up in Ojai, and it was a 6-week class, and it was like week 5. And one of the guys wasn't going on. He hadn't raised his hand to take his turn yet. And the class was going to be over in 10 minutes. I go, we got to go, man. What's going on? He goes, oh, I'm not going on today. I just came to say I'm quitting. Like, what do you mean? I'm not doing it anymore. I just want to tell you I'm quitting. Like, why are you quitting? Because my life sucks. My job sucks. Everything's terrible. Like, really, what's wrong? And I took his recorder and I pressed record. And he goes, you know, my job is terrible because everyone thinks I'm the IT guy and I'm going to fix it. And then they don't do anything themselves. They bring me broke. He ranted for 5 minutes. It was perfect. It had act outs. It had little dialogue. The jokes were all there. And all I did was stop the recording and go, there's your act. It was perfect. And he performed just exactly as he had ranted it. Of course, we had already learned the techniques, and he was kind of doing it unconsciously by that. But that's how easily it can be. All right, easily it can come out. Is Liz around?
I just texted her the Zoom link. If she'll join, I'll let her in for sure.
Okay, great. That's fantastic.
We had that experience. Cary, you were talking about someone complaining about their life. I know AJ and I, we've both done that, because we've been in your class at different times in our life. And sometimes it was like, oh, I have a terrible job. I hate my job. And then another time I was in your class and I was unemployed. It's like, oh my gosh, I'm unemployed. This is horrible. So every like new chapter of our life, you know, we've got something to
And plus
about.
I'm Jewish, so there's always something to complain
Okay,
about.
I'm here.
Yeah, we're never done. Diana, if you don't mind, Diana, we're going to wait a minute. And Liz, we hear you.
Start my video. Okay, here I am. Oh, hello.
Hi, Liz.
Hi,
Hi.
Liz.
Hi.
So Liz is my friend and neighbor who is newly vegan, actually, and she actually did it for health reasons. And and she's doing really well. Your hair looks great. Don't worry, because I've been encouraging.
I'm losing all my teeth.
It's because you're vegan. No,
Really?
so she's a little she's funny naturally, but she's wondering if the class could work for her. So maybe you could show people how you work with newbies.
I just look funny.
Now, one of the things you learn when you're taking the class is that everything you think is your worst trait is usually not so bad. In other words, if you think, oh, I'm terribly ugly, or I'm huge, or I'm short, and you mention it to people and they go, I don't think so. So yeah, you'll find that out. But tell me, what's bothering you the most, Liz, right now?
Oh my God, my teeth, and people in general. People.
Well,
and
let's go with teeth. Let's go with teeth.
And their opinions of me.
Of you.
Yeah.
Okay. So what's going on?
I'm on TV now.
Yeah, your TV's on. You kind of shut that down.
It's too late. Yeah, let me take this off because
if you need a minute, we can come back to you. All right.
No, I'm good. I'll exit out. I was watching YouTube on TV. That's why.
Oh, she was watching herself on the show.
Oh.
Well, but I can't do Zoom on TV, so I have the tablet on.
Okay,
on Zoom.
so Liz,
now I'm good.
One question.
Yeah.
So the worst thing going on right now is teeth. Tell me about teeth. Your teeth.
Oh my God. Well, before the pandemic, I went to Mexico
No,
because
it's not a long story. Just what is bothering you?
I started implant process, and instead of going back in a few months, the pandemic started. So I'm now a year and almost 2 years now, and I'm trying to get back to Mexico. So I'm scheduled to be there October 11th. In the interim, just 2 days ago or Friday, I had something going on and I had an infection. So they had to saw part of my bridge and pull a tooth. So now I'm just getting less.
Great.
So
So
I still have to get to Mexico
So the
before the
core-
whole thing falls down.
gotcha. So that's the core idea.
Yeah.
All right. Hiding in that is as a comedian, I'm trained to figure out what's this about. All
Yeah.
right. And I don't know if anyone else knows, but I've heard about going to Mexico for dentistry.
Yeah.
All right. So, and I have friends who go, oh, why? I spent $10,000 on implants. I got these done for $40 in Mexico. And so that's an act out. That would be one joke. And then the problem is, it's great unless something goes wrong. Instead of like, I got to go down to Santa Monica to see my dentist. Like, I got to book a flight. I need to get a passport, and my passport expired. Now I can't get my tooth fixed.
Yeah.
All right. So
Yeah.
you see, that's a very simple version of what's going on. All right. Comedy out of what went on, because I
Oh, no. Okay, our audience.
Linda, you're hilarious.
Linda. Woo-hoo.
Someone turn the
Tired?
camera off.
A little tired, Linda.
this is actually the best way to have. Why worry about your teeth when you can just get below the?
Yeah, really. There it is.
There you go.
Oh,
Cheers.
No
your
more
eyes.
teeth problems.
Where are you?
No more teeth problems.
Well, then you should have loved the pandemic because of the masks.
Yeah. Oh, I'm loving it now. I'm loving it now.
You don't have to wear a mask. Oh, I do. Yeah, I need
Yeah,
it.
I do.
Okay. Well, great. Thank you, Liz. Does
Thank you.
that make sense to you?
Yeah, it does. And it makes sense to think about all your problems and then kind of look through what that all means,
It's much more relatable than you realize, because everyone has teeth, and as you get older, everyone's had something done, right?
Yeah, exactly.
All right, good.
I've had just about everything done.
But your whole act could be about your various medical ailments. I mean, that could be hilarious.
This is true.
And everyone thinks about it. I remember being in line getting on a plane many years ago, and there's a woman behind me telling her nephew, "You got to take care of your teeth. I have a Mercedes in my mouth." In other words, the amount of money she put into her mouth.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
Well, my dentist wanted $50,000 to do what I'm doing there. So.
Yeah. All you need is an extra 3 years without teeth. And
but there could be so many funny things, like, because comedy's made up, right, guys? I mean, a lot of it.
Yeah,
and like the idea of is, well, the problem with getting your teeth fixed in Mexico is, and then whatever it is, I end up in a Mexican jail, and all these kinds of different things, and
Well, and you spent $300 on things you don't need because they're all coming at your window going, buy this, $20, $15, $5.
So Liz, how's that trip to Mexico? Did you get your tooth fixed? Oh, but I got this really nice gun holster in Tijuana for only $5.
Ceramic carrot. It doesn't talk.
if you keep it all in my, I spent, I say $500 on my teeth, but I spent $400 on piñatas. So there's no better comedy word than piñata. It really, it's the best punchline word ever. It's a P word.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna put you back on hold for a second. And Anne had her hand up before, and I wanted to see what's on her mind.
Cool.
And the way we're laughing now, guys, this is what we do in class for like the entire 2 hours. We just
I love it.
Yeah.
There are people who have cured their depression with these classes. They may not come out with an act, but they're certainly not going to go to therapy.
I mean, honestly, the whole
That's
6
good
week
because I didn't
class
take my medication.
the whole 6 week class is cheaper than one psychiatrist session in Beverly Hills.
Exactly. So Diane, what's going on? What was on your mind when you raised your hand? What did you have for us?
Oh, I just wanted to say that the class was so much fun, and you're so helpful in learning and teaching people, what to work on, and meeting every week, and then being able to email and talk with everybody else. working on their things it just was a lot of fun. And I would encourage anybody to take the class.
Thank you, Diane. There's something about the bravery. Once one person gets brave, the other people feel a little more brave themselves, and then we all start sharing. And I've seen, if anything would define the group I work with AJ and all you people on the call today, it's bravery. You guys really take a chance, and I think, like many things, if you're brave, you're safe. In other words, if you take a chance, you're safer than if you try to play it safe, and then you can fail. You know what I mean? If you try to be shy and not take a chance, people will wonder what's wrong with that person. But if you come up and act a little like, I'm kind of an idiot, people, oh, what a cool person, I like them. And so you succeed by taking a chance. It's a strange thing, but if you jump in, you will do fine. No matter what. And I don't let anyone fail. I'll always make sure that you got jokes, right?
Yep.
I saw everybody perform your last show. It was great.
Yeah.
And it made me want to do it,
Right. This has come out like a commercial. Gina, did you raise your hand for any other reason?
Yeah, I was going to say, part of it, when we talk about our problems, initially I would have thought, oh my God, I don't want to talk about my problems in front of everybody, especially Chef AJ, right?
Right.
But everybody talks about their problems.
Oh, yeah.
So it doesn't matter, I mean, and bad problems, so you kind of bond, and it's not bad. It's not a bad thing.
No,
Yeah.
after a while you're thinking, wait, I have to have, you become competitive. It's like, I have to have more terrible fault. What, I must have another fault. Let me think about it. Wait a minute. So it's an entirely different mindset from the get-go, because it becomes the way to be cool is to be screwed up. Now, there's one thing I know is like, oh, yes, Karen.
The thing I was thinking about, if Gina with her MS and me with my stroke, if we can turn that into funny, anybody can turn anything into funny.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, that's for sure.
And isn't it empowering? I mean, at first you're going, I can do comedy, I had a stroke. Like, no, that's what your comedy is about.
Yeah.
Did that make you feel powerful at all, Karen?
Hi.
Yeah.
Hi.
Hey, Linda, who are you saying hello to?
I'm trying to get your attention.
hi.
I wanted to say, I just got out of the dentist with Novocaine, and he said, your Novocaine didn't work because he said the cavity is too close to your nerve. So now I have to be put to sleep to do the same tooth. But in the meantime, I can't talk because my whole side of my mouth is frozen.
Oh, yeah.
And so it's really miserable. So that's why I'm not talking like usual. I usually can't stop talking. But I just want to say that I never in a million years thought that I could do anything funny at all, especially next to AJ and Charles and everybody. I thought, whoa, there's no way. But every time they ask me to do something, I do it because it turns out something good for me, which it was. And what it does for me, because I really am an angry vegan. I'm the angry vegan. I'm the vegan who's pissed off at everybody all the time. I can't stand to walk by somebody eating their chicken leg, I mean, or see a truck go by with pigs in it. I'm angry most of the time. So this has been a great emotional relief for me personally. I like to draw and paint and stuff, and everything I have is angry. And I even get in fights with Jim sometimes. He says, that's because you're an artist. Because he said artists are angry. And I said, are you putting that on us too? Oh my God. But anyway.
Talk about how it helped you when you did a conference. Linda, talk about how it actually, it's not just for fun. People that have real jobs, talk about how learning some of these skills helped you at the conference that you had to host.
I like to put on conferences, at least I did before COVID. And it helps me relax, number one, because I now know that I can be kind of funny. I didn't know that before. And then people listen to you when you're funny. They don't necessarily listen to you when you tell them, oh, my boring life story. My boring life story. Yeah, it's okay, great. I lost 50 pounds. But if you're funny when you do it, they are listening. So it's been a very good experience for me to feel more relaxed and remember. And it also, usually I don't memorize what I'm going to say. So having to practice to try to remember what to say is very helpful in life. And I can come up with stuff on the fly more than I ever could before. I used to have to, I'd think of something funny about 10 minutes after they left, right? Now it's a little easier for me. So Cary comes up with ways, if you're stuck, he comes up with ways to help you turn it into funny. You know, he had so many things that I said that weren't really funny, but he twisted it and made it funny. And then, this is the other thing I found out. I have people who were once a stand-up comedian say, Linda, you're pretty good. I mean, Linda, you're pretty good from a stand-up comedian. I mean, really, I was so proud of myself, patting myself on the back, you know, because I couldn't believe that somebody noticed I was funny.
It's one of the most empowering things you can do to make people laugh.
Yeah.
Linda, you don't think you're funny, but you just brought the house down with a yawn.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. The Novocaine is wearing off.
You're really funny, Linda.
Now, either
Diane, you're funny.
And your teeth are beautiful.
so either you have
not underneath.
I'm the son of a dentist, and either you have a very kind dentist or you scream a lot.
I was crying, I tell you. I said
a lot of dentists would go, you know, this is not working. We're just going to do it, you know. And
yeah.
Well, he said, raise your hand if it hurts. I almost punched him out with my hand.
so
I get very close to punching him out.
That's why he wants to put you to sleep so he doesn't get a bloody eye.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, it hurts to smile, you guys. Oh.
Well, now Liz can be sure that dentistry is a fine topic.
Yeah, I think so.
Even with only like seven frames open, 2 people are dealing with dental issues immediately. I'm gonna have this tooth pulled. I was thinking of Mexico till you told me your little story. But I'll tell you, there are ways to convince people if you make them laugh or if you make them think that you're cool. You know, like one of the most, I've heard AJ talk about all sorts of moral and scientific reasons to eat vegan, but what she did every day was she would say, this is what I ate. And she put out a beautiful plate of food and it looked like a feast. And I knew she was losing weight doing it, like, well, how come she gets to do that? You know, there's a lot of ways to convince people. Other than beating them over the head. It's like, hey, I ate all this and I'm not fat like you. Like, oh. She doesn't say it, but that's what the plate says. The plate says you could be eating a lot more.
So you're saying you catch more flies with honey. So then Linda Middles can say, well, honey's not vegan.
Yeah, that's why people are running from me now.
Even vegetarians are frightened of you. Like,
yeah.
You pull up broccoli by the roots? No. Anyway,
so tell us when the class starts. People might want to know when they can join, when it is.
Well, we can start this class. We had it. Let me pull up my calendar. I don't want to be wrong. We are starting. Let's see if I get the right month down here. We are starting October 7th. That's class 1.
A week from this Thursday.
Week from Thursday, and our 6th class is the 11th of November, and we'll showcase on the 14th in time for you to be ready for Thanksgiving. And not to get in the way of the holidays. Okay, that's our game plan. If you think, oh, but I have 1 week I can't go, I better not take it. We always can work with a week off. Even AJ might have to be gone for a week.
I'm going to be out of the country. I'm just going to go to a different class that 1 week.
You go to a different class. I can work with you online. We can do
I'll be in Mexico.
So will I. What part of Mexico?
The dental offices.
The dental
part of Mexico.
Algodones.
Oh, yeah.
That's the dental capital of the world.
Yes, it
Mexico.
is.
Gotcha. So are they going to finally, do you have posts already and they're going to put in
Yeah, but we had a situation, so now that has to be reflunked on the top. So I don't know what that means. I'm seeing a specialist here, but I just got, I think, a quote of his, which is going to be over $10,000 for this little problem I just had. So it may just have to wait till Mexico. So I have to send him a picture of my mouth again and say what happened and what's the route, yada, yada.
Well,
So I may be going back a few times. I don't know.
so yeah, these are the complications, and it's hard to fax your mouth.
It is very hard to
Never
fax your
get your
mouth.
mouth in a fax. Yeah. See, this is what's changed.
I know.
So, well, I wish you
So
all.
it's October, thank you. October 7th at what, 5 o'clock?
Yes, we have a
Two classes, right, Carrie? They can do either
5 and 7.
Mhm.
I like the 5.
If you want to be with Chef AJ, I'm at the 5.
I'm at 5.
Beautiful. Well,
Nice.
I can't wait to hear more about your dental problems so we can make
Yeah, I have
tons
to
of jokes about them.
think about everything surrounding that and then put it into
Yeah.
comedy.
Don't worry
all-
about
all your
how.
You're
Yeah.
fine. All your problems are mental or dental.
Well done.
Gee, I wish I thought of that.
Yeah.
So there's something that I love working with AJ because she's got that brilliant comedy mind. She's
Yeah,
always
she does.
enjoyed.
She does.
And
She's
one of the things I
amazing.
like to do though with all my students is make sure they're about something real. Because a joke that's just twisty word is okay, but it's not as fun as something that's real. And
Yeah.
What I've loved doing with AJ and Charles is making them do, having them do comedy that means something to them. Because we're all much more interested in hearing a story that draws us in. We care about somebody.
Yeah.
My God, that's real. That's cool what they're doing.
So
Yeah.
Carrie, I'm encouraging Cheryl Atkins, who's watching live, to take the class because she's posting really funny stuff in the chat. So how does somebody take the class? Because I didn't get show notes from you to post yet. So do I give them an email, a phone number? How would you like me to communicate this?
There is a website called thestandupworkshop.com. And there you will see there's a sign up page and you can give us your name and address. You can even pay online on the sign up page. If you want, you can also email AJ or you can email me, which is info@thestandupworkshop.com. And there's no hyphen in the online. It's just standupworkshop.com. thestandupworkshop.com. Okay.
I found it and I'm posting the links right now.
And you'll have my face on it, and you choose the class you want, and we'll be in touch.
And let me tell you guys, I don't know if you've ever taken a comedy class or any kind of acting class, but now that it's online, it's half the price is what it was in LA. And you can be in your pajamas and you don't have to look for a parking space.
And for the first time ever, I'm offering a free 20-minute private session with each student that signs up.
Cool.
Wow.
Cool. And you really only have to wear half of your pajamas, really.
That's right. And in your case, you really only have to wear eyebrows because we only.
That's true.
Liz, if
Or
you're only
just a
wearing,
mask.
Liz, if you're only wearing half your pajamas, please just wear the top, please.
Will do. I'll just wear the mask. Just the mask.
There we go. Well, AJ, I think also answers a question, which is like, how do you keep doing it? What do you do to continue? And
Yeah.
she's come back many times and always found something new that's a problem. So luckily, life is never dull for any of us. If your life is perfect, you don't need me. You probably need therapy because you're probably in denial.
Yeah.
But luckily, I know all of you are delightfully screwed up. Who's got the little tuba noise going on there?
I don't know. I hear it on mine though. Maybe it's me.
Gotcha.
I didn't fart.
Well, that's how you fart. That's pretty digital. Cartoon animal. Let me see. So when you're coming up with ideas for comedy, I was thinking about veganism for this class today, and I was thinking, just what would be the strongest point for, we've already talked about the strongest point for veganism. What would you say the strongest point against it is? What's the hardest thing about it?
Socially,
But being vegan,
Socially, right. Okay,
social aspect.
yeah, you can't go out to eat very much.
gotcha.
Not that you want to, but
Yeah.
Uh,
People think you're better than them, but you kind of are.
yeah,
Yes, we are. Yes, we are.
So you
What was
have
We
to,
are better.
you have to hide your,
We're kinder, we're sweeter, we're everything more. Good,
Wait,
the good part.
What was the question?
what are the hard things about being a vegan? So you're saying you have to hide your light under a barrel. In other words, you have to kind of tone down how magnificent you are.
Well, also there's nothing to eat at 7-Eleven usually.
Well, Slurpees.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, hey, Laurel Paley said carpal tunnel for all the chopping. Laurel, why don't you take the class?
That's a funny line.
That
That's
is.
hilarious.
Yeah. So I mean, it's great as long as you have an extra hour every day just to chop.
More than an hour, Cary.
Yeah.
And chew. The
I can
I
chewing.
can chop,
You
I
know?
just can't chew.
By the way, so by the way, that's, you know, like gorillas spend, I think, like, you know, five hours a day chewing.
Oh,
And-
that's not, I'll
Oh,
never be a
yeah.
gorilla.
Never be a gorilla. But you know, that is a concept that civilization happened when people had more spare time. Maybe vegans won't, you know, maybe civilization will stop advancing because no one will have any more free time. This is gonna be chopping and chewing.
Laurel says chop, chew, poop, repeat.
Exactly. So how's your new project going? What project? I have no time. There'd be no one would be on Facebook or anything like that because we wouldn't have time.
Yeah, and especially with Linda, because most of her day is spent yelling at people that aren't vegan.
Exactly. That takes a lot of time.
From now on, you just be yelling out your door. Oh, hi. Oh, hi. What's in that burrito? Just sauerkraut? Okay.
Yeah. No, I had two people tell me that they would take my program again, but then I would yell at them. Oh, two different people who don't know each other. So I think, okay, there's something going on.
So vegans can be frightening.
Yeah.
Right? And that you can scare people.
Yeah.
I like that. But you've never seemed like a yeller. Once you started making jokes, you seem very kind now.
Well, I kindly tell them they're wrong and I'm right. Yeah.
Oh, I see. Yeah, some people don't take criticism well.
No,
They don't know how to dodge a frying pan.
no, with oil.
Yes, with oil.
With oil.
So I'm learning a lot about you guys. It must be exhausting. Now, by the way, I know also the one thing about AJ is, and I think it's because you're a vegan. It's like, don't call during mealtime. Because if it's time for AJ to eat, she's hungry. It's like, I've had nothing but vegetables all day. I must eat again. You know,
That was the problem with the Titanic is the vegans were the ones that went down because they were still eating.
I'll get to the lifeboat in a second. I haven't finished my kale salad. See, the problem is you need to eat every how many hours do you have between meals, AJ?
4 or 5.
So you can do 4 or 5.
I eat big meals. You have to either be willing to eat frequently or eat monster-sized meals, which
Right.
a lot of people are.
Every hour here.
But then again, you know, you order a big hamburger someplace, you're good for a couple of days. You know, you won't even poop. So you're not gonna be hungry for a while. No, I'm still working on that burger.
Wait, I know what you know, remember at the
True.
beginning of the show, you said, what's the problem with being if everybody went vegan? All the
Yeah.
septic tanks would just clog up.
Yeah,
The
right.
Plumbing in the world would end because everybody would be pooping so much.
Plumbing as we know it would end, yeah.
All that roughage, like, yeah, we have to put in 7 times more septic tanks. Then again, all your poop would just be natural and it would just flow out and become fields. vegan
Or
poop.
there'd be less trash, or the trash trucks would turn into super scoopers and they just pick it up.
Yeah, because you guys don't have fast food. You don't have the same kind of wrappers or anything like that, right?
Yeah, no.
All your food is just wrapped in, what does your food come wrapped in? Just
Vegetables.
Lay's?
Lettuce.
Yeah,
Lettuce cups, yeah.
Yes, lettuce cups.
they're lettuce wrapped.
Well,
But
I look forward to when you are our overlords. I think if you are what my vegan overlords will look like, this is a good group. Except for Linda when she yells. But you know, I hope you all get your teeth fixed soon, because I know how much chewing you have ahead of you.
Yeah.
You know, if it was anyone else, you could probably get by without that tooth, but no.
You haven't lived, you've had salad through a straw, believe me.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I hope you I'll take the class, and then we can do Thanksgiving jokes, because that's another problem for vegans is
Oh,
coming.
yeah, because we don't
Oh,
want
my
to be around a dead bird.
Exactly.
Wow.
The holiday around a dead bird.
It's so sad. It's so sad.
Yeah.
Very sad.
I've been to several vegetarian or if not vegan Thanksgivings, and there's many a vegan tart that can be had. Lots of
Lentil
mushroom.
loaf.
I've had
Yeah.
lentil loaf and big mushroom pies and
Tofurkey.
Rice filled squash.
Yeah.
I've had tofurkey.
Well, you know what vegan means in ancient, in the ancient dictionary, Oxford Dictionary?
No.
Bad hunter.
Bad
Oh.
hunter.
Coming home with the carrot. Historic ones. Well,
Well, this was fun, and this is the kind of fun we have every single week in Cary's class.
and by the way, just you don't know it. You've just been playing and talking and all this, but in my mind, I've already been formulating, material and how it would look. I already see it. It's already kind of like a little web in my mind of how we would talk about, let's say, Liz's stuff or the new stuff for AJ or even Linda. All right. People being afraid of you. So I already see topics that could be coming through for you guys. And I'll be encouraging that when we play together. So you guys, you think, oh, that was just fun. Like, yeah, but we're already building. This is already good material.
Yeah.
It's so delightful to see all of you. I miss a lot of you, and it's fun to see you again. And thanks for checking in and playing with us again. Nice to meet you, Liz.
Meeting you too. I hope I can do it. I mean, my bridge could fall. They've been warning me. It could fall. Call me if it falls.
Falling bridges.
I love how this bridge is falling down. Yeah.
Gina, and you are funny. You guys are funny.
You know what I
Alright.
didn't, what I didn't share with you guys is that I can whinny like a horse.
Let's hear it.
Oh, right now? Okay, let me try.
Very good.
Nice.
I can do it better if I'm standing up.
You eat alfalfa?
This is what happens when you're vegan too long, Cary.
Yeah.
And this is a woman who wants to have a farm in her house. You'll be able to communicate. Where did you
Be the
learn that?
horse part. She could be the horse.
Yeah.
I'd try it, but I think my bridge would flip out.
Yeah, don't stress out on your and no corn on the cob for you. All right.
Yeah, okay. I'll
Just
make a note of that.
Yeah, lots of porridge. All right.
No flossing between your teeth.
No.
Wow. Well, then, you could get those little Invisalign trays and just leave them glued in for. Get the kind of football things or the things the fighters wear and just.
But I gained 2 pounds. Somebody explain that to me.
You gained 2 pounds. Yes, because you're panic eating. You're going, what if I can't get food in? You're just like, well, maybe how much can I fit in my mouth now? There we
That's
go.
so great.
Well, thanks for playing. I think we hit our time allotment, AJ.
Oh, we went over, but I was having so much fun. Okay, guys. Well,
Thank you. Thanks for letting me join in.
Thank you for bringing us
Absolutely.
on.
I hope to see you guys on the 7th at 5 or at 7 o'clock Pacific time. And if it doesn't work this time, keep in touch with us and get on our mailing list, and we'll have tons of classes in January. Okay.
Perfect, perfect.
Yay.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, Carrie.
Bye,
And
everyone.
remember,
Everybody.
anyone can be funny, even if you're vegan.
Yeah, there you go. And with
Okay.
that,
Thanks.
bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye,
Take care.
everybody.
Bye, guys. See you
Thank
Thursday in
you.
class, I hope.
Bye,
Bye-bye.
you too.